Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. In this video, I will try to talk on how we can be able to transform our tables into a graph. So basically, we have ways of presenting our data. Maybe after the analysis, we can use table to present the data, or sometimes we can use a graph. So it normally depends on the situation we find ourselves. So if we are using table, so the data should be presented using only tables. If we are using graphs, the data should also be presented using only the graph. So we cannot combine the two together. You can't, like for instance, present same data using table and at the same time using a graph. Let's say maybe for instance, after you have decided to present all your data within table and you now send the work for corrections. So maybe after getting the feedback, maybe you may be asked to change the way you presented the data from table to graphs. So for you to do that, if you are to follow the normal way, so sometimes you have to be copying the data and re-entering them. In some situation, you just have to uh, start from the scratch and try to come up with the graphs that will best present those data. But actually, there is a kind of a way to do that, which is very simple. So let's say this is our table. Maybe we presented this and we have been asked to change this to a graph. So all what you just need to is to take this particular pointer so to the table. This plus sign will show. So you click on that plus sign. Then you now go to the insert. From this insert, you now click on the object. Then you now click on this particular drop down until where you see Microsoft graph chart. Microsoft graph chart. So you now click on that. So and your graph will now show. So basically the type of the data and your intent, why you try to, why are you, what are you trying to portray, determines the type of the chart to be used. Like for instance, if you want to show changes of a variable over time, so it is best to use a kind of a line graph. Or maybe if you want to show a kind of relationship between two or more variables, so it's also advisable to use line graph. So, but maybe if you just want to just compare the simple variables, so you can go and use the bar graph, just like the one we have here. Maybe if you want to show a kind of proportion of a certain or contribution of a variable to a whole, like the proportion, the percentage of each of these variables. So it's best you use the pie chart. So here you can change the type of the graph according to the one that is being required from you to use based on your data and what you try to portray as the outcome of your to represent the outcome of your findings. So for instance, if you are using the proportion to see the contribution of each or the proportion, the percentage of each, so you can just go ahead and use this. Or maybe if you want to use the bar graph in this form, so you can choose that. And maybe if you are to use the line graph, so you can use this. So now let us just choose one. So you now click on this thing. So basically, you now have your chart from your table. So ideally, if you are to do it all over again, so you have to come to the insert, then you now come to the chart, then you now click on OK. So as you can now see, now you need to edit all these values according to the table we have. So this will be somehow time consuming. So the other process is faster than this. So thank you. Assalamu alaikum.